Hello and welcome to another round of the Zafiralis All Rounder Championship in Live for Speed. Tonight with Blackwood GP Reverse, the old famous Blackwood GP in the reverse direction on Monday the 5th of February for round 2 of this championship in Live for Speed. Apologies if I sound a bit croaky, I'm recovering from something nasty, but hopefully it will go fine tonight and I'll be able to bring you all the action from this race. The second round of Zafiralis' all-year all-rounder championship, 12 rounds using different LFS environments with different tyre compounds, and tonight we are using the slick tyres of the Formula XR, the Fox in Live for Speed. Again, an ever popular track with an ever popular car, a 2-litre inline 4 mid-engine rear-wheel drive car with 190 brake horsepower, weighing in at just under half a tonne. Let's have a look at the track, though it needs no introduction. It is, of course, the 3.3 kilometre, 2.1 mile Blackwood Grand Prix circuit in reverse with its 7 corners. And we are going to see, we are going to see it for 39 laps after the 30-minute qualifying session, which has just concluded. And we will give you all of the results from that in a moment's time. But yeah, before we do that, let's look at how the championship standings currently are. We have 10 drivers who managed to finish round number 1. It's Thamuli, the ZFRL driver, winning the first round with 15 points. Then Race Green's Mandula in second with 11 points. Then Master Race Cars Texas in third. Motta Macari for ZFRL in P4. Savage Simsports Martin Nepal in P5. Race Green Lorenzo in P6. Timu Soini for World Class Lines in 7th, Roni for Race Green in P8, and World Class Lines Asker there in P9, and Magic, the final driver, with 1 point for Race Green in 10th. We have far more drivers competing tonight than did in round 1, probably because this series was only just getting started way back then. So a few more people have found out about it thanks to the broadcast or the Live for Speed forum posts or Zafiralis Instagram to turn up for round 2. We have 30 qualifying results to go through right now. It's Sidus Gabor who takes pole position with a 1:08.44. Fragmasters Rex in P2, switching teams from good drivers to Fragmasters. They've snapped him up and they're very happy to have him, I think. Someone to challenge Gabor at the front of this field. Then we've got Zesty for Master Race Car, Keke Rosberger in P4 there with Race Green Mandula, Mantas, Asker, Lorenzo, Thamuli and Twin Cam your top 10. RD2 there in P11 with Motta Macari, Timu Soini, Johnny SVK, Roni, Edzis, Magic, Serbo, Finn UK and Capetta. And then on the second page of results, we've got Desnache, Crash, Tazka, Swarfo, Showa, Motta Domas, Alenzo, Endless, and J Ribeiro. Those are going to be the 29 starters, though I think somebody else is slotted somewhere in the order while I was taking the results. But anyway, we should have 30 starters for tonight's action, which is absolutely splendid. Let's take a look at the schedule. We can confirm that round 3 of the championship, which will take place on March 4th, will be the XRG at Blackwood Rallycross, an old favourite yet again. I really like this series. It's throwing something new and something different and something old as well. We've got the season kicking off with the mod at the HKS circuit and 2 Blackwood's favourites after that. Let's head to the track and get this race underway. So the drivers are on the grid awaiting the start of the race, and we are going to get the cameras on them just as soon as we can. Apologies for the delay in the racing here, but we are going to be there very, very shortly. There we go. The drivers are off and off down the hill, and it's a great start from Gabor, who leads the field away with Rex very, very close behind. And it is Zesty who currently occupies the P3 position, and that is Keke Rosberger heading off on the grass on the outside in that old Williams livery there. And around the inside, goes Asker already, and it's Nico Pantola who is going under the pseudonym of Keke Rosberg today. As the cars hit the back straight for the first time, Gabor's had a heck of a gap already. And Lorenzo is alongside Oscar now as we roll up to the final chicane. The driver's already negotiating that. 39 laps are going to come at you thick and fast this evening, with 26 drivers who have taken the start. But it's Gabor who has such a massive lead that he has ended up almost a second ahead of Rex after just one lap. Zesty's got a bit of a draft, so too has Mandula, but the top five breaking away with Mantas there at the back of that little pack. Then it's Oscar, Thamuli, Lorenzo and Twin Cam really close into turn 2, with RD2 trying to get a move on Twin Cam. He's pretty close to the back of the Born to Race car. Can he make a move onto the back straight, I wonder? No, in the dirty air there, has to back out of it, cannot get any closer to Twin Cam. And we'll have to be careful from behind because he's got lots and lots of competition about to follow him onto this massive back straight. It's Motta McCarry in his slipstream, as we've got cars off in the background. Johnny SVK having trouble. And Nico now going for a move with Motta McCarry. No, who is that he's in a battle with? It's with Johnny SVK into the final chicane. Motta McCarry. Oh, as we've got a car spinning there in the background, it is it's Magic, or is it Roni? No, sorry, it was Roni or Disnash. Someone had a spin there. Roni's in orange for the first time ever, which is why I called it. Well, I thought it was Roni, but Roni's running an orange car just to throw everybody off. Apparently, it's called a clownfish, so I believe it's Nemo, but finding Roni apparently. And there we go. Gabor leads onto lap 3. Ahead of Fragmaster's new signing, Fragmaster's Rex there. Then Zesty, Mandula, Mantas, Thamuli, Oscar, Twin Cam. Then it's Lorenzo, RD2, and Motta McCarry just making it into just outside the top 10 at the moment. Nico has a run on Johnny SVK again. These two have been fighting ever since the first corner, and around the outside goes Nico, and immediately onto the back of Motta McCarry. So what can Nico do from here? Currently P12, has a lot of work to do if he wants to climb the order. Up to start finish they come, and the drivers are spreading out a fair bit at the moment. We don't expect to see any pit stops because, of course, this race it's probably not long enough to warrant one. The tyres should be absolutely fine, as we see Finn UK there and Joa going side by side. Joa P21 at the moment, immediately on the attack on Swarfo on the inside. Bit of contact was there, and Finn UK gets through as well. Tries to on the inside, turns into the outside for the next corner. Swarfo's still there but backs out of it. Finn UK takes the place. Bincam is lining up Oscar. Will he have time towards the end of the straight? Yes, he will. Pulls out of the slipstream, and then through he goes. Nice move up to P7. Next on our list is Motta McCarry, and that's Nico, who was going for a bit of a slide in the middle of the chicane there. So trying to make the move on Motta McCarry. We've got Magic and Timu Soini in a battle as well. There's 3 of them actually here. This might be Capetta as well. So Capetta in the orange and white, Gary in the blue. Sorry, Soini in the blue-winged fox, and Magic there in the green race green livery. Green and blue for a change. Dazka's had a spin down in P19, recovering. That's Finn UK that gets through, and it's Lorenzo who's has lost out there. He's dropped out of the top 10. We've got Mantas trying to make a move on Mandula. Mandula defending the inside, and Mantas trying to make it go around the outside, and he does so. He's clear, he's through before the final corner. So that's up to P4 for Mantas just now. And And what can Mandula do in response? Can he get close enough to get around? I don't think so at this point. I don't think he's close enough. Thanks for joining us on Sim Broadcasts for round 2 of the ZFRL All Rounder Championship. We've got RD2 and Twincat going at it into turn 2 there. But let's keep an eye on Rex. Rex is 1.6 seconds shy of Gabor, who seems to have checked out at the front. There he is in the red and white livery with the Shell logo on the nose. With Rex in close pursuit, but it's Zesty who is closest to Rex right now. But Zesty may have trouble of his own if Mantas can keep this pace up. Nico is trying to get through on Motomikari still as we head into the final chicane, and just not enough time on the straight to get through on this occasion. But yes, Nico struggling then to get into the top 10. Meanwhile, at the back we've got Tazka and Finn UK fighting for the final spot inside the top 20, and it's they're still side by side into the final chicane. Still side by side, leaving the final chicane, but Tazka gets the place up to P20 and can set his sights back on Joa, or can he? Finn UK trying to come back at him now on the outside. It's going to be side by side going across start finish. Finn UK has the inside for turn 2. It's Gabor that leads on lap 7. Ahead of Finn UK, Zesty, Mantas in P4, and Mandula dropping back slightly now to P5. Bit of a gap to Thamuli, but he's got plenty of air to Oscar in P7. And it's RD2 who is the last driver with any clean air, because these three are still together. Well, it's actually Twincam who's managed to get past Nico here by the looks, or rather those two have caught up to Twincam, my apologies. And now wants to carry up into P9. So Nico, can he get past Twincam as well? And try to continue the fight with Motomikari, but Motomikari up 2 places in a handful of laps. Largely due to the misfortune of other drivers, but Nico really struggling to make overtakes. Motomikari making them fairly easily at the moment. Joa versus Finn UK. Finn UK in the Fragmans delivery there on the inside of turn 1 as we duck into turn 2. And a little bit of a wobble there from Joa. And that's Serbo behind, trying to find an opportunity. And he might have one. Well, too close in the end. May end up having to go on the defensive on the back straight to Tazka, who seems like he's got his own trouble trying to keep hold of that car. In fact, Serbo gets a good exit and is now... Oh, who's that spinning out in the background? I think that was Swarfo. Serbo gets past Joa, but perhaps slightly too early, because Joa has the slipstream and may be able to get through before the final chicane. It'll be tight. No, he backs out of it. Serbo makes the place up to P20 and then goes very, very wide and allows Tazka through and Joa. So the camera's cut away a little bit early, but Serbo lost all of the places that he gained. And that is where we're left. The closest group seems to be between Capetta, Magic and Teemu Soini, with Texas in a Red Bull Racing livery slightly further behind. You can just see him coming onto the back straight now. These 4 entirely on their own. There's nobody around them at all. And Capetta looks like he's going to have to do some defending fairly soon from Magic. Magic will tuck out of the slipstream now, goes to the inside for the chicane. We head into the final corner. Final corner complex. Magic does in fact make the move. Capetta may have to also defend from Teemu Soini as they make their way up to start finish once again. Martin McCarry's had a crash and has hit Lorenzo and Twincam. So off camera, Martin McCarry has had an issue. Roney has been involved as well. Lorenzo's left the race, but Martin McCarry, from a very strong position, pushing, has let the ball go and has taken a few drivers with him, unfortunately. Twincam all the way down there as well, just actually ahead with front end damage, so may want to go ahead and repair that at some point. And in the background we can see Texas is trying to make a move on Soini. Texas to the inside and already past Soini before they even arrive at the braking zone for the final corner. Lorenzo will be taking no further part in this race, is disconnected from the server. So that's that for his race. That's a bit unfortunate for Martin McCarry. He was having a good race. It's all gone wrong. But yeah, some other drivers capitalising from that. Nico will have clean air, he's in P9. Johnny SVK gaining. And seemingly somehow Roney does actually gain a little bit from that, even though you can see at the rear left he's sporting quite a bit of cosmetic damage. Looks like on that Fox. Or is it a clownfish? You decide. But he will have to defend pretty soon as well. We've got Capetta and Teemu Soini also side by side out of the final left-hander for the straight. Capetta in an old McLaren livery, and Teemu Soini in the usual colours of World Class Lines, and backs out of it quite early. As Capetta to take the racing line. Capetta seems to have the better top speed. So, if you're just joining us, you're on lap 12 of 39 at Blackwood GP Reversed in the Fox for round 2 of ZFRL's All Rounder Championship. And we're watching Gabor, who is also live on twitch.tv. You can go and check out his live stream at twitch.tv/S1DUS Gabor. That's where he is live streaming his perspective in the lead of the race by 2.4 seconds over Rex for Fragmaster's new signing, who is doing very nicely indeed on his broadcast debut for that team. Then it's Zesty for Master Race Car, who is just ahead of Mantas for Born to Race, as we see Mandula picking up some dust in the background, dropping wheels on the grass out of turn number 2. Martin McCarry and Magic side by side going through turn 1 and to turn 2. And Martin McCarry trying to make up these places that he lost as quickly as he can. And our current championship leader, Thamuli, is currently in P6 on our timing screens, and has some very, very quick drivers ahead of him. Mandula, Mantas, Zesty, Rex and Gabor to contend with if he wants to maintain the lead of the championship going into one of the following rounds. It looks like Gabor is on his way, if he keeps going, to scoring full points here today, as we've got Soini side by side with Capetta. Still side by side as Magic tries to make a move on Martin McCarry, doesn't work out. Soini actually is now ahead of Capetta, and Capetta is having all sorts of trouble, almost catching up and taking out Soini, but losing the car completely, exiting the chicane, and almost has a reverse entry into turn 1. Fortunately, nobody else around to be involved in that accident. But Gabor will very soon have to start worrying about back markers in this one. 22 cars on the track as well as him. And he's already catching up to Swarfo. He's already got past Motodomas somewhere on the lap. We've got Nico on RD2 here, coming up to the final sector. On the inside, there should be a pretty simple pass. Nico is through cleanly on RD2. He was driving under the race green colours, and that's Motodomas, who's facing the wrong way at the final corner. Having more issues, unfortunately, getting out of the way of Johnny SVK and some other cars. Capetis had a spin on a straight, which is unusual, and has left the race. So we're down to just 21 runners as we approach the halfway stage in round number 2. All of the drivers have spread out slightly now as Gabor makes his way past Swarfo, one of our back markers. Cleanly passed. And I think the closest battle on the track is between Asker and Motta Macari as we ride on board now for a lap around BL1R. Fantastic looking track, Blackwood. It doesn't benefit from any laser scan or photography. This is a completely fictional track that has gone through many iterations, but currently benefits from pretty high quality textures in Need for Speed. As we are going to cut away for a minute and watch Joa, who's had some sort of incident. Has had a spin, sorry, if I can remember my words today. Coming onto the back straight and currently sits in P19. So yeah, Joa having some trouble there. Nico Pintola ran 2 wheels on the grass out of onto the back straight and has allowed RD2 to catch up ever so slightly, but he's not close enough to make anything of that just now. As Motodomas heads into the pit lane for presumably some new tyres and some damage repair going on as well. But let's take a look at what Asker's doing. Asker is catching up to the back of Thamuli, our championship leader. And I wonder if there's going to be an overtake pretty soon, because Asker's looking quick. Asker is a specialist in the Fox. He's always been very quick in it. So should be able to show everybody at home just how good he is. Both these drivers get a good exit onto the back straight. Nicely through turn 2 for Rex there. Absolutely committed and has opened up a 4-second gap to Zesty, and anyone else who's a fan of Fox will know that Zesty is very quick indeed, and the fact that Rex has managed to pull open such a huge gap is a testament to how much Rex is improving, especially in the Fox. And Mantas, who had some brilliant results in the last couple of weekends, both in GT2 Challenge and the GT4 Sprint Cup, is having a good showing here as well in P4, and could be in a fight with Zesty soon. Just 1.2 seconds, as we've got a touch with Motimakari for Soini, which sends him into a spin at the first chicane. So that's a shame for Soini there, losing a little bit of time. But yes, as we head over halfway through round number 2, it's Gabor with the fastest lap, who leads ahead of Fragmaster's Rex by 2.2 seconds. Then it's Zesty for Master Race Car, closely followed by Mantas for Born to Race. Then we've got Mandula for Race Green, a little bit on his own at the moment, no one really behind him. It's Championship leader Thamuli currently in P6, with Asker for World Class Lions reeling him in. And I do think he really is reeling him in. And he needs to, because Nico Pontola, going under the pseudonym of Keke Rosberger today, is looking fast as well. And RD2 is not letting him get away, so RD2 is right with him. So I fully expect these two to start closing up to Asker and Thamuli if they start having a fight, which they may do. As Gabor sets a new fastest lap of the race, a 1:09.33. And Twincam is getting close to Texas, though he doesn't want the slipstream, which is a bit unusual. Likes to pull out to the left-hand side of the track. Doesn't fancy any slipstream on this occasion. Starting to get a little bit interesting in the midfield. Asker there, massively held up by a back marker coming onto the back straight. Motodomas. Asker now will try and get the slipstream. We've got another back marker in front of Motodomas as well, that's Swarfio. So Asker's been held up enormously. Thamuli is so far ahead now. So that's a shame for Asker. Has to do all that work over again, and actually allows Nico to get a little bit closer as well. So Motodomas moves well out of the way of Nico, but hasn't helped Asker in the slightest, as Swarfo also getting out of the way there of RD2. So the closest on-track battle at the moment is between P7 and P8, Asker and Nico Pontola. As we've got somebody in the wall in the background there, that's Swarfo. The back marker's having a little bit of trouble. And Texas and Twincam have come close together again. We've got a car off actually on the back straight. Swarfo having a lot of trouble keeping his car in the right direction, but is moving again. He'll be just up the road from these guys. You can see him just on the right hand side of the screen, just getting up to speed. Magic, Twincam and Texas are about to get past him. Here comes Twincam now. Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing? What was he doing? I don't really understand what happened there. Texas lifted off as if to allow the back marker the room. I mean, I do not understand what happened there. Texas had somebody over on his right hand, overtaking, and Texas left it way too late to move past the back marker. And I don't know what I just witnessed. That was such an unusual accident from some very experienced drivers. I mean, talk about confusing. I'll have to watch that again after the race. That happened a little bit quickly, but Texas, I don't really understand what he was doing. Being so close and then lifting and then not pulling out while he was being overtaken, and then taking Twincam pretty much out of the race. Another more front end damage for Twincam. What an unusual accident. Anyway, the race goes on. As Texas abandons the race there, decides not to continue any longer, clearly frustrated. But yeah, I'm sure plenty of people are going to be reviewing that one. That was so strange. Lap 23 about to become lap 24 for our race leader Sidus Gabor, who you can watch on Twitch. He is currently live under the name of Sidus Gabor. So if you want to pull up his perspective as well as the main broadcast, you can do. I'm pretty sure he's decided to broadcast a lot more of his racing action, so go and give him a follow, share the love, and be treated to the race from the perspective of the race leader. As we're going to switch to Teemu Soini, who is trying to get past Mortimer Carey now. These two side by side on the back straight, going over the sector line. And Soini looks to be through. Good move. Mortimer Carey thinks about a move back, but decides not to go for it. As we've got Joa going into the pit lane, just behind these two. Weren't expecting any pit stops during the race as Gabor navigates Montedomas there once again. It's not the first time he's seen him. And it's got quite close between Rex and quite close between Mantas, Rex and Zesty again. And RD2 and Asker are also close together, with RD2, if anything, catching up to Asker. I thought Nico would have caught up to the back of Mortimer Carey a little bit faster than he has done. So Mortimer Carey Thamuli clearly doing a better job than I gave him credit for. Yeah, Soini is through and opening up a gap on Mortimer Carey. And I think Gabor must be beginning to sweat a little bit here, because the gap between himself and Rex has come down to 1.8 seconds. It's under the 2-second mark now. Rex gets the fastest lap of the race, a 1:09.07. So Rex is really starting to turn the screws, and Gabor cannot afford to relax here, because 14 laps we've still got 14 laps to go. And with 19 runners, Rex is starting to press home some sort of advantage over Gabor on pure pace, which is unusual. We've seen Rex beat Gabor at BL2 reversed this track, but without the chicane. In fact, was it BL1R? It was BL1R. It was this exact track during a round of Fox Friday at the end of last year that Rex beat Gabor. We've had a coming together between Magic and Swarfo, one of the back markers. So the back markers here proving a little bit tricky. A little bit of a challenge, certainly. As Swarfo goes into the pit lane. And so does Motodomas. Those two both in the pit lane. And a number of drivers not happy with how the back markers are behaving. Gabor was in the chat not long ago commenting on the driving style of one of them. So something maybe for the race control to think about as the two back markers leave the pits down at turn 3. somewhat together, as Motamakari now is closing up a little bit too. Oh, and Nico's gone into the back of a back marker as well. I think the race control need to do something about this. The Motodomas is not really sure where to put his car, and Swarfo and Motodomas come together again. These two having a race all on their own, but seemingly without any sort of spatial awareness to the cars around them. Unfortunately, sometimes it happens when we get some less experienced drivers mixing up the field. But let's keep an eye on Motamakari and see if he can try and close back up to Teemu Soini, who rather audaciously got past him a few laps ago. And a good exit from Soini will be all he needs, and he's got a good exit and already opening up the gap on the back straight to Soini. Out of the final corner come these guys, and we've got a bit of a slow-moving car in turn one. Twin Cam's about to have to navigate it. Motodomas very slow through turn one. And we've got RD2 in Asker's draft on the back straight, so RD2 wanting to make a move here and goes to the inside. Makes the move stick. Motamakari is back right on Soini, but has a bad exit. A very bad exit. Oh, as Asker has more trouble. I think Asker's having trouble with his tyres now. After RD2 got past on the previous lap, RD2 having some issues with the rear end of his Formula XR. Motodomas has been asked to spectate by race control. I think that's only fair, given the number of incidents that he's been involved in since the start of this one. Here we're watching Roni in his orange and white clownfish livery, closely followed by Johnny SVK. Gabor is about to do a lap on Motamakari and Teemu Soini. This is the worst part about racing, when you start to get lapped by the leaders, when you feel as though you're doing a pretty good job at a track. Gabor there comfortably through on Motamakari, no issues at all. Next it's Teemu Soini, and Gabor is about to make it 8 laps to go. Sorry, 9 laps to go. And the start finish we go, and he takes the fastest lap of the race as he does so, a 1:09.04. Absolutely rapid from Gabor there. And if you're tuning in and wondering what this is all about, this is the ZFRL All Rounder Championship, where we're going to visit all of the LFS environments, and every 3 races we will stay with the same environment. So rounds 1, 2 and 3 of this championship will be at Blackwood. We've been to the HKS circuit for round 1 in January. We're at BL1R, Blackwood GP reversed with the Fox for race 2. And then for round 3 we're going to be at Blackwood Rallycross with the XRG in a month's time, in March. As we've now got Johnny SVK and Roni having a fight at the beginning of lap 31. around the outside, he's trying to go into the chicane and gets the move made. Roney lifts off and gives him all the room he needs. But may or may not have a run onto the back straight. No, I think Roney's also struggling with his setup here, as Rex is now finding himself having to get past Motomacari and Soini, while in a fight for the lead of the race. 1.7 seconds only between Rex and Gabor, so this won't have been a comfortable exchange with back markers for sure. But they did a good job of getting out of the way. Gabor in the chat saying that he almost went straight on at the chicane the previous time around, so maybe losing focus a little bit at the lead of this race, and that's allowing Rex to catch up. So Gabor might be a little bit tired. Almost straight line in the chicane, thinking he was at Blackwood Historic reversed. Unusual. Rex would sorely like to get another win here. Gabor will be all too aware that Rex has beaten him on this exact configuration in recent history. One of the best broadcasts that we ever commentated on, Fox Friday, at this exact combo just before Christmas round. Can't remember which one it was. I'm going to jog my memory. Absolutely brilliant race brought out in race 2 between Rex and Gabor, and it turned out that Rex had it on the day. Yeah, Gabor with a strong lap this time round. Oh, and Rex with an error over the sausage curb. Less of an issue in this direction, but still quite easy to get it wrong, I'm sure. As we've got Magic still closing up to the back of Twin Cam. This battle's still alive for P12 between Race Green and Born to Race. These cars actually with similar colours. We've got green wheels and a blue body on Twin Cam's car, and a green and blue body on Magic's car. Chris has done a bit of a search on our YouTube channel, and Fox Friday 2023 round 45, race 2, was fought out between Gabor and Rex. And on that occasion, it was Rex who won. So Gabor, yeah, he'd really like to win this one. So far, so good. But only 1.62 seconds separate our top two. As we watch our race leader come up to start finish to make it 5 to go. Nico has been playing around with Thamuli since since about halfway through the race actually, but finally seems to have got some momentum and has closed up very close. Yeah, Thamuli going off the road a little bit there, and that's going to give Nico Pantola all the momentum he needs as he goes on to... actually he's waiting, he's short shifting, so he doesn't want to get past Thamuli too early on the straight. He's biding his time, pulls out just as they go up the hill, so that Thamuli doesn't have any time to get past. A tactical overtake from Nico Pantola, and he's through, and he's up into P6. Our championship leader, Thamuli, now into P7, wondering how to deal with that for the rest of the race. Meanwhile, the gap between Gabor and Rex has gone up to 1.9 seconds, and Gabor's found himself a healthy slipstream on the back straight with an old friend, Twin Cam, who will has no real choice but obliges, and it gives him a bit of a tow up the back straight. So that's going to help, and I think that may, if Gabor can do a good end to the lap, that could give him another fastest lap of the race, because that is a nice place on the lap to get a healthy slipstream. Let's see what he gets. He's taking the quick line to the start and finish, and it is the fastest lap of the race by a huge amount. A 1:08.76, unbelievable. So a really lovely slipstream from Twin Cam gives Gabor fastest lap by almost 0.3 of a second over his previous best. JSK, Johnny SVK, and Roni pretty close on the track. Probably the closest battle that we have actually for an actual position, other than Nico and Thamuli, though Nico just managed to get past Thamuli. So why don't we check out Johnny SVK and Roni? I know they switched places a couple of laps ago. Johnny SVK managed to get past him, but Roni hasn't dropped Roni just yet, as Gabor comes up to start finish to make it 2 to go. He will be on the penultimate lap now, and looking very, very comfortable now. 2.3 seconds. It's almost as though Rex has realised what's going to happen here, although I'm sure he will still be pushing just as hard to try and close the gap. Rex actually with a much faster sector 1 there than Gabor, but something really bad has to happen for Gabor to lose this one now. He's more than 2 seconds in the lead. Rex has put on a very, very nice drive here to stay so close to Gabor once again. But someone who might have to be a little bit more careful than they're being is Thamuli. He had quite a big wobble at this exact corner here on the previous lap, and has allowed RD2 to catch up quite a bit, as Roni has also caught up to the back of Johnny SVK. So a couple of battles still living on here towards the end of the race. The fight between Twin Cam and Magic has neutralised. Motomikari and Soini still fairly close together. Gabor now 2.1 seconds in the lead. Desti solid P3, Mandula an even more solid P4. He has got probably the biggest gaps around him than anybody, as Roni now tucks into the slipstream, and this is surely going to be a move, but he doesn't want to do it too early. Goes to the outside, makes Asker think about this one. Sorry, Johnny SVK think about this one, and yeah, Johnny SVK almost decided to make the move back. Roni moved out of the slipstream so early, but gets the job done. Final lap for Gabor, and the final corner, and barring any problems, a bit of a drift, but no drama. Gabor gets a bit of solace. He manages to beat Fragmaster's Rex at Blackwood GP reversed, and takes a very convincing win, although with a couple of sketchy errors that he admitted to during the race. But wins on this occasion. So congrats, our round 2 winner in the Zafiralis All Rounder Championship does go to Gabor. Rex and Zesty will round off our podium. Mantas follows up a good performance at the weekend with a P4 in tonight's action, with Nico coming across the line in P6 just ahead of Mandula. Got 4 cars left to cross the line. So Nico there in P6. Thamuli will, I'm pretty sure, tie the championship standings with that P7. Or in fact, he'll gain more points, so he will still be our championship leader going into round 3. Then it's RD2, Oscar, Roni, Johnny SVK, our top 11. And that is everybody that has crossed the line. So after a pretty frantic beginning to that race, the ending was much simpler, and Gabor finishes 2.5 seconds over Rex, and a very decent drive that from Rex for his new team, Fragmaster. Switching from good drivers, he's been a good driver member for as long as I can remember good drivers being a team. That's how long it's been. So to leave your old team and switch to a team like Fragmasters is a pretty big move. But Fragmasters, I'm sure, will be very happy to have him. Getting a good result there for P2. Zesty finishes in P3 for Master Race Car as Gabor there slots onto the grid behind to take the podium photo. With Mantas for Born to Race there in P4. Mandula, Nico Pantola in P6. Thamuli, who is still our championship leader, in P7. Race Green's RD2 in P8, World Class Lines Oscar, and Race Green Roni round out your top 10. Then the final cars to finish in our second column are Johnny SVK, Twin Cam, Magic, Motta Macari, Timu Soini, Fin UK, and Tazga, with Swarfo there, our final finisher in P18. Motta Domas asked to retire by the race administration in P19, DNFing 56% of the way through the race, with Joa unfortunately also not finishing due to some incident out on track. Then we've got Texas, Capetta, Serbo, Endless, Lorenzo, and Desnash all not finishing. And there in the background, you can see the podium finishes for today's action, round number 2 of the Zafiralis All Rounder Championship in Live for Speed. In the middle, got Gabor. To Gabor's right, it's FM Rex. And to his left, MRC Zesty. And there we are. That is the podium photo for round number 2. Well, that just about does it for round 2 of the ZFRL All Rounder Championship today. But we do hope you enjoyed it, and we do hope you can enjoy it again for round number 3, which will be coming to your screens on March number 4. And that will be at 6:15 UTC for the qualifying session, which lasts for half an hour. So if you feel like you're going to enjoy the XRG at Blackwood Rallycross, which has the hallmarks of a fantastic race, you should join us for that, and you can feature on the broadcast too. So yeah, from all of us here at Sim Broadcast, we hope you had fun watching that, and we hope to see you again for a future broadcast. We do have more GTI Thursday action coming up this week. Myself and Fragmasters Fraz will be in the commentary box for the next round of that championship, and we do hope you can join us for that. But from all of us here at Sim Broadcasts, to all of you, we hope you have a good rest of your evening. This has been the ZFRL All Rounder Championship on Sim Broadcasts. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Good night.